Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pizza Talks. I'm Maria Dimitropoulou, and this is our guest,
Victoria Charalampidi.
And this is episode 4 of Pizza Talks. Now, the previous two attempts we had, because yes, this is not the first one. It's the third one, actually. We had another guest, but she was already fed up with the second attempt. So now we have Victoria. Because we had some technical issues on my behalf, of course. And the two previous attempts were trashed.
I thought you sabotaged the previous attempts because your eyeliner was off.
This is not part of the script, Victoria. Λοιπόν, sorry, my Greek. What I was saying before Victoria interrupted me with her lies. As you have probably noticed, we're still doing this online because we're in quarantine here in Greece. We have everything online. Also, whoever is interested from Deree's students, I'm gonna read you some weekly updates. Now, on November 24th, during activity hour, which is 10 past 2 until 10 past 3, Deree Student Government will be hosting the first of their regular scheduled Zoom meetings titled Coffee Break with DSA. Now, this break will be focusing on the bright side of the lockdown, which I really am interested in hearing what that is, and making sure that the student body is doing okay. If students are interested, they can find the links in the description below. On November 25th, during activity hour again, which is 2:30 then, Deree Student Government will be hosting an event about COVID-19, but focusing on positive thinking and how that can help. Again, the links are on the description. On November 26th at 8 p.m. on MS Teams, the LGBT plus club will be having a murder mystery night. Everyone's a suspect. Can you figure out who did what? Again, the links will be on the description. And last but not least, on November 23rd at 3 p.m., the 6th Internet Security Day has been planned by Deree, where professionals in the field will discuss how security online is affecting everyone globally. The link in the description. Now, Victoria and I are together in this class called Film and Television Studies.
Yes.
So apparently we're going to talk about films and television.
Yes.
Victoria seems to be passionate about some specific topics, so she's gonna go first. Victoria?
So we all know that televisions and films have developed and improved from the beginning of 20th century, and many things have changed. And one of these things are people of color and people of different nationalities being added in many films and series. And apart from that, the other changes are pretty much like technological, and yeah, that's it. So my main concern, let's say, or I don't know, I'm happy about it, is that many people from different nationalities are being added in American films. And if we think that America has been, like mainly USA, has been really conservative from time to time, it's good that many people are added and who are not Americans. So if we see historically, if we see that movies and we check out the little things, we will see that in the past there were many people, white people and Americans in American movies. And throughout time, in the late 90s and in the 21st century, people of color were added and were did have like a protagonist roles, and I think that that's a great improvement. And yeah, I mean, and they're not really made fun of, let's say, because Indian people, for example, who had roles in many movies, were teased at, and now they're not. They do have main roles. In the past, many Americans, sorry,
You're doing great.
thank you. Many Americans had these roles and main roles, and I think that they had the big idea about themselves, but in the end, people of color or people of different nationalities got the main roles. For example, we can see Morgan Freeman, for example. He plays in so many movies. He's talented. I don't know about his other life, but in his acting career, he has achieved so many things. And another famous person, not a colored person, a person of color, sorry, a person from a different nationality is Scarlett Johansson. She's from Europe. I'm not sure from which country.
Oh, she is.
Yeah. And she has a main role in Marvel movies as Black Widow, as many of you might know her. And another actress is Mila Kunis. She's from Hungary, I think, or Ukraine, I'm not sure.
Ukraine, I think.
Yeah, Ukraine, probably.
Yeah.
And she had a main role in the in the series That 70s Show. And fun fact, in the show when she auditioned, she had to be 18, but she was actually 14. But all of the other actors were 18 or 19, and in her CV it said, "I'm gonna be 18." But when they found out that she was 14, actually, or 15, I don't know, when they found that she was not 18, they said, "Okay, she's really good,
That's
so
crazy.
we're gonna keep her." So, yeah.
Wow, Victoria, that was so interesting. Those fun facts. Wow, I did not know about the last part, and I've seen that 70s show, and she really didn't seem like a 14-year-old.
Yeah, it's weird that some people look way younger than they actually are. And she's now in a relationship with Aston Kutcher, who is 5 or 6 years older than she is. But, age is just a number, as we say nowadays.
Exactly. Love doesn't have an age.
And to continue with our main subject, another thing that I noticed in older movies, and I do not notice as much now, is the female representation. Women have taken more main roles in movies, and they're not secondary characters in the movie or series, either on TV or Netflix or HBO or any other platform. And the good thing, I'm really, really glad, because we do not, in the past, men, on the way, way, way past, men had female roles sometimes. But
what?
Yeah, but I think that
is that true?
I think that was on theater, and in the 1800s or maybe before that. Anyway.
Wow.
But the sad thing about films and series is that they do not pay women as much as men, even if they work as much or even more.
Oh my
Scarlett
god.
Johansson.
Even today?
Yeah, even today. Scarlett Johansson is paid less than her co-stars. For example, Robert Downey Jr. or...
What?
Yeah.
Excuse me, Victoria, wait a second. Scarlett Johansson, who everyone knows and has played in so many movies,
Yes.
gets paid less than... I mean, I really admire Robert Downey Jr. He's amazing, he's great, but
Yeah.
his name is definitely not bigger than Scarlett Johansson's.
It is big in a way that we know his history because he had problem with drugs. And he did play
Well, yeah.
Sherlock Holmes at some point, which is a really big part, not only in films, but also in books. And he has a pretty big name. But I will agree that Scarlett Johansson has a bigger name because she has been playing in films since she was a little girl.
Exactly.
So I'll agree with that. She needs to get paid more. Also, but it's good that there are people who are not Americans and they still play in American films. Also, I'm glad that there is a black representation in films. For example, what's his name? I forgot. Chadwick Boseman, who died recently.
What movie? Oh yeah, that was in Black Panther,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
That was a great hit.
And Michael B. Jordan has a reputation for himself, not a bad one, I think.
Yeah, it's a good one, I think.
And there are so many other female black African American women who are in many films and series, such as Queen Latifah. Is that her name? Okay, I'm not good with names.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Queen
Latifah.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah.
And who else? Keke Palmer has played in many films and series, mainly for children, for Nickelodeon. And I really, really do admire her. But I think that one of her greatest outbreaks, I think, was the one that she played with Queen Latifah in the... I don't remember. It was the one with the choir? I don't remember how it's called.
Choir?
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know. Not good at this.
No, it was a great movie. I cannot remember the name now.
That's okay. I'm sure our viewers know, probably.
Anyway, and I think that's pretty much it about films and representation of different people as like a part of nationalities and
yeah.
But there is also the LGBTQ plus representation. There are many actors who...
Oh yeah, those... Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
those have been... they've been showing this category of people more often today, especially Netflix shows. I don't know if you've seen Sex Education.
Yes.
Pretty much every single series or movie has at least one character that belongs in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
And I think that this is great to have. It's important to show that everything is acceptable, right?
And the good thing, and now that you mentioned Sex Education, we have to say that almost every character is in the LGBTQ plus community. For example, Eric is gay, and the son of the headmaster is gay. The two characters are bisexual or pansexual.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing that this series has people from LGBTQ plus community. But I think that there are shows where straight people play gay characters or bisexual or transgender. For example, in Glee, Kurt's boyfriend, I don't remember his name, Blaine, he is straight actually, but in the show he's playing a gay character.
Ooh, another example is, have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yes.
You know Barney?
Yeah,
Barney is straight. In that show, he's not just straight. He's like, he's hunting women. And in real life, he's gay.
Yeah, I know. And he actually has a family right now.
Exactly. That is mind-blowing.
Yeah, but,
I really wonder. Whoa, no, tell me.
I think that the actor who played Barney was great for the character of Barney. I don't know, he portrayed him really well. And another thing that I have to say for LGBTQ plus community is the TV show Friends, which, by the way, for the fans, I just learned today that they're gonna have another episode in probably May 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
One good thing to expect in this year.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, they couldn't film the episode last March, but they're gonna film it this March, and it's gonna air on May 2021 on HBO. But I hope we get to see it in Greece actually, or Netflix, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, in France, there are gay people and lesbians and transgenders, but there are some characters who cannot accept this. Well, if we consider the time that it was on TV, people still process the fact that it's normal to be gay or being in the LGBTQ plus community. But, well, most people had accepted the fact that, okay, there are people with different sexual orientation than me, or that have a different gender. So, anyway, and the bad thing is that there are specific characters that throughout the film still have a problem with these characters, with lesbian characters of the show. For example, Ross, he was married to what was her name? Anyway, I still forget names. Anyway,
I think Amy.
He was married to a straight woman, supposedly, but she realized that she was lesbian, and Ross throughout the film still couldn't accept that she was lesbian, even though he had moved on to different relationships and had done different things, and it seemed that he moved.
So was he homophobic?
Well, you could say that he was homophobic because he still couldn't accept that his last wife left him for a woman and not, for example.
Well, maybe he just wasn't used to it, I guess.
I mean,
it was something new to him.
I mean, I would be surprised if out of the blue, like my boyfriend said, I'm gay, and we had like a really long-term relationship, but I don't know, I guess at some point after a while, I would have processed things and I would have moved on. But it was 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I really think that in the future we're gonna get more. This whole topic is gonna be more integrated in movies and series,
Yes.
even more.
Yes.
And you know, as you mentioned, because you know your main topic was movies and TV before and now, and to be honest, I have also spotted many differences in this small period of time. And I think that there's also gonna be a lot more changes in this whole industry in the future, and not just in terms of you know, society,
Yes.
but also technology. Because, for example, when you go to the cinema, what is the most, not exactly peculiar, but isn't it kind of more entertaining to watch something in 3D, for
Yes.
example? Because you can't really do that at home, or at least you couldn't when it first became a
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, it's look, even though right now due to the pandemic we cannot go out, I do really prefer going to the cinema, and mainly because these people that work there don't really get paid well, so I prefer to pay for a movie and go watch it, because these people that work for the cinema, they are the ones that provide the movie in a way.
Exactly,
So-
exactly.
Just an advice for the people listening: go to the cinema. Don't watch the movie online and pirate it.
Do not pirate.
I mean, I know that some movies are not in Greece. They are not. They haven't come yet, or they're not gonna come at all. And I guess you can do that there. You cannot go to a different country just to watch a movie.
Okay, Victoria, if you allow us to do it, then we will.
Well, you cannot. For example, there was this movie based on a book called Everything Everything. It didn't come in Greece, so I somehow needed to watch it because I really loved the book and it was a great movie. So I did watch it online, but generally, if the movie is not on Netflix or in the cinema, I prefer to go to the cinema or watch on Netflix.
Uh-huh. And what about shows, though? You can't watch shows in the cinema. What if you could in the future?
Well, in the future, I don't think that you could watch a series in the cinema for many reasons. Because if you want to see like a series, it needs to be a specific time, a specific a cinema, and I don't think that many people would move out of their house to go to the cinema, and then pay for the episode. And many series are either on TV or a platform like HBO or Netflix.
Yeah. Exactly.
What?
I don't know if you remember the movie Avatar that came out in 2010.
Yes.
Do you know it? So that was made by James Cameron, and a fun fact about that, because once we're talking about cinema specifically, so that movie, he was preparing the script for that for 10 years.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The process of the making was 10 years. He had the script even before he made the Titanic, which was around 1998 or 9, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's surprising.
But the reason that it took him so long was because he didn't have the proper technology to shoot that movie, Avatar.
Yeah.
And when he did, everyone was it was something so exciting and new for the audience, because I mean, who has seen before that movie CGI that's that good?
Yeah.
Or 3D movies in such an amazing level? That was amazing. And people would go to the movies twice or even 3 times just for the experience because they couldn't watch 3D at their house. And that's one of the biggest reasons why that movie is such a huge hit and earned so much money.
By the way, an older movie of 1927, which is called The Metropolis.
Ooh.
At the time, it was a really great movie because it used so many effects that at the time it didn't even have the equipment, I guess. Not exactly the equipment, but not... You wouldn't see the
technology?
the technology. They didn't have as many things, as many movies with this kind of technology or equipment. Anyway, and you can see in the movie the transformations that are being made, even though it's a movie that doesn't have any sound, but it's really great. And at the time, imagine how many things were done in the movie and how surprised people must have been. And
I couldn't agree more.
yeah, and I'm really glad that some movies are remade in a way with more effects. For example, there was this movie Fahrenheit 400 something, and there's an older movie and the newer the remake. In the remake, Michael B. Jordan plays the main character, and they're both great movies because they're totally different. For example, in the older movie, I really liked it. I don't know, for the time it was great. And the newest movie has, because both of them present something that is really futuristic. At the time, the older movie presents something newer or something that could happen in the future. Now the newest movie, it came out in the 2016, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Technology is really more new, I guess, and I can see exactly what is the message of the movie.
Well, yeah, this huge advancement of technology has definitely made a huge difference. I think they've also made a remake of Mary Poppins.
Yeah, not a remake. I think the Mary Poppins is a book, and it has many like books.
Ooh, but like you can definitely spot the difference when you watch the first Mary Poppins movie and the very recent one, right?
So the recent one is like the continuation of the first one. So the kids in the first movie are now grown-ups. But fun fact, the boy in the first movie died actually.
Oh.
He died really young, I think.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah. It's really bad when you see actors or actresses who have played main roles and meaningful roles in movies or series to die. For example, Cameron Boyce. When I learned that he died like a year or two ago, I was crying for 2 days, 3. I'm not even kidding.
Ooh.
Because I actually grew up watching him on TV, on Disney Channel, so
that is understandable. It's very sad, and sometimes it's not only the actors. I mean, obviously they probably don't die on the set, but have you heard about what are they called, stunt doubles, that they die on set? That is oof.
Yeah, and I remember
the movie industry is full of those things.
Yeah, I remember Luke Perry died the same year that Cameron Boyce died, but just a few months before him. and he was playing on Riverdale. His stunt double on the show portrayed his death, so he wouldn't be like his death would be explained in a way also in the film, in a way on the series. Also, when Paul Walker died, his brother, who is surprisingly he's good looking, but they surprisingly look alike a lot. They're almost twins. I'm not sure if they are, but they look like twins. Anyway, he played Paul Walker in the movies of Fast and Furious. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was very interesting.
So they would explain why he left from the film, in the films.
Yeah.
I mean, I
think it was pretty necessary for the audience.
And the weird thing is that Walker died while he was in a car that's a sports car, and he wasn't even driving it.
Oh, I thought he was. Oh, that is so oof.
Yeah.
I mean, not exciting, obviously, but it's a fact that definitely, gives you the chills.
You want to hear something even more bad? The guy who drove it?
I'm not sure, but let it be the last thing for this podcast and end it with this.
The guy who was driving didn't even die. He just had some dramas and he was fine. Paul Walker died.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Ooh. I mean, thank God that at least someone survived, but wow.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was driving the car.
Well, if he was driving a car, I guess they wouldn't have died, but...
Well, to lighten the mood a little bit before we end this podcast, have you guys noticed our hats?
Yes.
They're like, it says
matching.
Santa's Flight School. We're identical. Yes, exactly. Yes. Because I know that it's still November, but who cares? People are decorating their trees from September here in Greece. That was it for today's podcast. Thank you very much, Victoria. Do you have anything else to add?
Just be happy, be hopeful. Everything is gonna be fine, and we're always here to lighten the mood.
Aw, that was so cute and warm-hearted.
Thank you.
A last thing, whoever is interested in participating in these podcasts in any way, you can contact us in the email dc.videographyclub@acg.edu. Now, see you next week at 2:30 GMT +2. This has been Anna Maria Dimitropoulou and
Victoria Charalampidi.
And this is a wrap.